a little bit more affordable than Oahu or Maui, which are the other islands. So oftentimes when people come to Hawaii, they're like, hey, I want to buy a vacation rental condo or a second retirement home and get that Hawaiiana lifestyle. And then they see
Have you been thinking about moving out of Simi Valley or Moore Park to someplace tropical? Hi, I'm Kim Cross, your Crosstown Realtor with eXp Realty. And in this quick video, I interviewed Jessica. She is a realtor that works and lives on the Big Island of Hawaii, which is my favorite island. She actually specializes in the Kona side. And you might notice in this interview that I stopped saying Hawaii about 30 or 40 seconds in because I realized I don't say it correctly. So if you want the details or all the information on the island, she is definitely the person to speak with. But yeah, we kind of talk strategy, like maybe you don't want to move there now, but maybe you want to retire in Hawaii, which how fabulous would that be? But we kind of talk strategy, like if you maybe you could buy something now while prices are low, and then she's got a few ideas of what you could do between now and your retirement. So anyway, let me know, like I said, if you have any questions or if you want her contact info. All right, have a great day. Hi guys, Kim Cross, your Crosstown Realtor, and I'm here today with Jessica. Jessica is an agent from the Big Island of Hawaii, from Kona, right? From Kona.
Correct.
And I wanted to bring her in because I know a lot of you guys have been talking about maybe retirement, like leaving California and going someplace fun. And obviously Hawaii is a great place to go, or even if you're not ready yet, maybe to buy a house to live in down the road. And like we talked a little bit offline, maybe rent it out until they do make that move. So if you don't mind, Jessica, tell me a little bit about your island and all the fun stuff you guys have.
Yeah, definitely. So about the Big Island, it is one of the most beautiful islands, in my opinion. It has 11 out of the 13 different climates and zones here. And so you have the jungle, you have snow, you get to surf in the morning, go snowboarding in the evening. It's just absolutely diverse and gorgeous. It's also one of the most less developed, but that being said, it is larger than all of the other islands put together. So there's a lot of opportunity here. It's a little bit more affordable than Oahu or Maui, which are the other islands. So oftentimes when people come to Hawaii, they're like, hey, I want to buy a vacation rental condo or a second retirement home and get that Hawaiiana lifestyle. And then they see the prices over there and go, let's look at Kona. So yeah.
My family and I vacationed there a few years ago. Absolutely beautiful. And personally, I kind of prefer it because it's not as crowded as some of the touristy places. So I can see that being very attractive to buyers.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to get away from that on the mainland. And, you know, it is interesting to see because along the North Kona coast, which is the resort coast of the Big Island, it is the Golden Coast because we have a lot of high-end homes over there in the millions or billions. Michael Dell, Bill Gates, all of them own multiple homes within that small area in the Four Seasons resort homes, as well as Kukio and stuff like that. And so it really is a hidden gem that a lot of people, even from Napa Valley, are saying, hey, that's where we want to go because this is what Napa Valley used to be.
Right. So, and so I'm used to working with remote buyers. Like if I have somebody from this area that's thinking of buying, maybe, like I said, a future vacation, a future retirement home, you're used to working with buyers that are purchasing from here, but looking to move there eventually.
Absolutely. So I do have a soft spot because I was born and raised here for the local community. But that being said, the majority of my clients are sight unseen buyers. I am very upfront and informative and extremely thorough. I call myself the assistant buyer rather than your realtor because I go in there with the camera and say, hey, it looks like there's some water damage there. We will confirm with a home inspection, but make a note there. This inventory that comes in this vacation rental, it's a little dated. So you might want to consider upgrading that, you know, just trying to share what I would do if I were purchasing that home so that when we get to the offer process, when we discuss the terms of sight unseen and what will make your offer stronger because you're not boots on the ground over here, you know, we're on the same page and, you know, everything is covered, whether it's in the flood zone, in the lava zone.
The lava zone, that's something we don't have out here. So I'm glad. I'm glad that they would work for with an agent that's in that area that knows to check for the lava zones.
No, the interesting thing too is there's so many nuances to buying on the Big Island versus even the other islands.
Oh, really?
We have leasehold where you don't actually own the property yourself. A lot of people say, hey, that's affordable, but that's because it's leasehold. We also have the cesspool versus septic conversions that are required coming up here shortly. So it is very important to pair with a local lender and a local realtor versus just shopping on Redfin.
Right.
And funny enough, if you were to go on Redfin or Zillow, there are no search parameters that will tell you, hey, this home or this condo, you can legally vacation rent, which is also a huge
yeah,
issue.
that's what I wanted to talk about too, is like you're familiar with the rules and regulations in the different communities that do allow that. Because I know a lot of people, like if they're thinking, well, I just want to get this home so I can go there 3 or 4 weeks during the year, it'd be nice to be able to rent it out when I'm not there. So it's nice that you know which direction to point them in if that is something that they're looking to do.
Yeah, especially with sight unseen, it's really hard to gauge which HOAs and which neighborhoods and zoning allow for vacation rentals. On top of that, you also want to know if you're right up the road from McDonald's, because it doesn't look that way from pictures. So it's a really good bearing on everything that's involved in the home buying process and what might affect the value and the customer service experience for your vacation renters or long-term renters. A lot of people, that being said, vacation rentals, we have long-term rentals, which are a huge market. I have a lot of clients saying, hey, I want to retire there, Jessica, want to start building some, passive income. So can we buy that house while the market is prime and then long-term rent it until we're ready to move into it the next 2 to 10 years?
And again, you know which direction to point them in if that's what their plan is, which neighborhoods that would work with or which communities.
Absolutely. Like I'm doing this enough. We hit probably 50 million in sales last year. And so I have a good bearing on comps and what affordable rentals are, what your average rentals are, and what the renters need to do to be able to qualify. The rental market is actually a lot more aggressive than the buying market, believe it or not, because of the lack of affordable housing here. But that's for another discussion.
But also along those same lines, if somebody does buy it with the intent to rent it out for a few years until they retire, you can kind of point them in the direction of who they can work with that might help them manage their rental property as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have those contacts.
Yeah, I'm really proud of being a part of Coldwell Banker Island Properties. We're a huge, well-known, very old established name, and we have all of those divisions. We have our own lender, we have our own escrow company, and then vacation rentals and long-term rentals has a great program there.
That's awesome. So you got the whole package there. And one other thing, we were talking about the market right now. So if somebody was thinking, again, planning ahead, now is probably a great time to buy in your area because it's a little bit more competitive, I guess, and buyers kind of can negotiate a little bit more and find maybe a great deal. Potentially.
Yeah. It's interesting. The general concept of pricing and what's a good deal is supply and demand. So that being said, we experienced an incredible price acceleration over the past couple of years, like the rest of the world. But you have to remember the Big Island right now has a limited amount of land to be developed and a limited amount of inventory. So the demand for Hawaii is never going to go out of style,
right?
Especially as people become more able to purchase a second home, a retirement home, an investment home and stuff. It's always a good choice to invest in Hawaii. But at the same time, our market tends to cater towards people who are not primary residents. Again, another topic on another conversation, but for the purposes of this conversation, that means inventory has greatly increased because a lot of these properties are investment properties. The stock market's down. People are trying to offload their homes so they get the cash and they can buy while the stock market is low.
Right.
So inventory up. Pricing
which is good for
dramatically.
buyers. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely good for buyers. Dramatically, the prices have decelerated because of that. But I would say just go for it. Because sorry, the last thing that you need to consider too is when you were in the frenzy, each house was getting 20 offers, and there were escalation clauses out of the wazoo. You weren't necessarily purchasing what you wanted. You were just trying to get anything while the interest rates were low. And now you have a choice of a home that fits you for, small conveniences and differences in pricing considerations. And so now is the time to buy. It's a buyer's market here. You have the ability to negotiate credits to go towards your closing costs and buying down your points if you were to finance. You also have the ability to negotiate price well below asking. I successfully was able to move into escrow on a $3.1 million house. We ended up in escrow at 2.6.
Wow. That's wonderful. I bet your buyers are pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
All right, great. All right, well, listen, I won't keep you much longer. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to put your information below. If anybody has any questions, they'll get in touch with you. Or you guys, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me too, and I'll get you in touch with Jessica. Obviously, she knows a ton about the Big Island. Even if you guys are just starting to think about it, get in touch with her. She can kind of give you pros and cons. Probably has some general information she can send you on the area. So, all right, so that's it. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Aloha, mahalo.